Oh my gosh. I'm live. Thank goodness I managed to get in. Hmm. We're real late today. Sorry about that. Um, well, it all kind of fits together though, because I decided to talk about, oh, here is sticking up a little bit. No, is that my, okay. So I decided to talk about something like storms and rain and elementals and of course, of course, of course, they're going to show up. So when you finally get the word, we're real late. Yeah, like over half an hour. You got to watch. And I got to say, I should preface this by saying you have to be careful when you're dealing with elementals. They are a natural part of life. And um, in fact, they are part of nature. There's nothing evil about them. They're neutral, really. Um, I'm going to get more into this when I get into the body of the talk, but I have just found that a lot of people. Oh, Denali. Hi, yeah, really late tonight because I decided to talk about the rain and the elementals and all that, and they showed up. And trying to get the internet to do anything, my phone to do anything, it was really kind of weird. But it's been raining cats and dogs, and started raining cats and dogs here. Um, a lot of stuff happened. I'm not even going to spend a lot of time on this show trying to explain everything as to why we're late, but we're late. A lot of stuff happened. Anyway, we're on now, and that's the important thing. And we're going to talk about rain and once again, elementals. I should do my introduction here. I am D. Ocean Swagger of D. Ocean's Deep Woo. And here we do the deepest of woo. Well, Denali, that's one of the reasons I'm coming on tonight. Wow. Yep, it's one of the reasons I'm coming on tonight. I feel like I have to because it's the responsible thing to do. Hello, Richard. I'm sorry, this is funny because I've seen this happen before. And I should have warned you that this could happen. But I'm sorry, it's funny, but it's not. It's raining like crazy here too. And it has interfered with some things. Let's just put it that way. You're swimming there now. Yeah. Okay, that's why I'm doing this. I'm going to have to explain this a little bit more. And then we'll work on getting it to slack off a little, okay? And shut off. But I'm sorry. That thousand, God. Um, They're just not used to it. As long as they're not getting mud flooded, we're going to be, if you get actually flooded, that's, well, see, I think, okay, I'll just go. Let me finish my thing and I'll go on. Let me finish the things I have to do here. I'm sorry. It's funny, but it's not. In some ways, it's not that funny, but that's magic for you. Right now, we kind of have that kind of an Aunt Clara feeling, huh? You remember Aunt Clara from Bewitched? But okay, so here we do the deepest of woo, and woo is what we do. It's all we do here. Every kind of woo, right? And so if you're an experiencer, you'll probably find yourself feeling right at home here. And we respect experiencers and encourage them. And if you need a place to tell your story, that's us. We want to help you. And if you need help with something, we can probably help you with your stuff. We do metaphysical, we do paranormal, we do spiritual. I am an experienced shamanic practitioner for many years now, decades. So a lot of this is sort of second nature to me, or so a lot of it is first nature to me. But most of the people that you'll find on my channel are experiencers because they're here because they want to know what to do too. I mean, they want to be able to tell their story and they want to be able to control what is happening to them, have some knowledge and in some cases control over what is happening. And so I'm trying to fill that gap for people because that is just not enough shows do that. Just not enough people do that. Yeah, Aunt Clara. I feel a little that the way right now. Yeah, Aunt Clara was wonderful. One of the ants from Practical Magic, yes. Me too. Me too. Paranormal Pixie made it in. Gemini Moon made it in. Okay. Yeah, well, okay, let me finish doing this. Okay, so experiencers, and this is for now, you all know this that are in here right now in the chat, but if you're new, we respect experiencers here. And it doesn't matter which kind of thing you experience, you know, whether you saw a ghost, whether you saw a UFO, whether you were abducted, whether you spoke to a Sasquatch or whatever you did. Maybe you did a dance with a dog man, we don't know. But if you come in here and you're sincere, you're respected here, okay? And I ask you, you give the same respect to all my guests and all my chatters because they are doing, mostly people are just doing their best to tell their story and share their experience. And this is disclosure. We are the disclosure, okay, to each other. We don't need the government. You know, it would be nice, but do we really need the government? I don't think so. We can be our own disclosure because we know stuff is happening. We've seen it. We've experienced it. That's why experiencers are so important. Okay, so if you've had an experience, please get in touch. It's not that hard to find me. oceandiana@gmail.com. And we have a lovely group called Galactic Woo Crew on an app called MeWe, MEWE.com, that we use pretty much just to post things and sometimes to get messages to each other because it is not a lot of us do the data mining and stuff going on over there. So come on over and see us. It's free. And probably at some point one of my lovely and knowledgeable mods will put the link in. Oh, you have a beautiful pink sky. Yep. I love when it gets like that. Whoops. Yes. There you go. Oh, Richard, that sounds like fun. Um, so Denali Princess is talking about the lovely pink sky she had tonight over in Texas. So now I'm going to get into, remember, this is just tips, tricks, and hacks for the massively multiplayer, total immersion, virtual reality, learning matrix called Life on Earth. Oh, really? You do? Okay. See, so, which is fine. I mean, you know, we'll take the rain. We're fine with it. Not very much though, because actually we have had a lot of rain. People have been asking me to send rain, and I've been sending rain, and we've been having rain. And that's what I want to talk about. Is there are side effects sometimes, and also how the heck did I do that? And I didn't know when I started whether I could do it or not. Like so many things, I had no idea what I could do. Um, and I'm sure that most of you are, you, I can guarantee you don't know all the things that you can do. We humans here on this planet can do a heck of a lot more than anybody's aware of right now. And, well, almost anybody. There are a few people who know that we are extremely powerful, and they've actually found ways to do all kinds of wonderful things. But it's not common knowledge anymore. You know, this doesn't surprise me. They say I'm buffering quite a bit. Oh dear. Right. Well, I will try to work around it. Maybe if I talk a little slower, you won't miss as much. I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. There's nothing I can do about it on this end. But you should have seen me trying to get in here to even set up the stream or even set the stream and send you out notifications was really interesting today. That's why we're so late. Had a lot happen. Um, and yeah, Denali says we got a monsoon. Glad I live on a hill. I'm going to tell stories, and we're going to share. This is what I hope to do, is we share stories about our rain experiences and our rainmaking experiences, because it's not just me, you know. And I don't want it to be just me. I want people to know how to do this. Mother Earth, I am, in a way, an emissary from Mother Earth. I I can mind speak Mother Earth, so to speak. And if you want to talk, call it mind speak. Because it's not exactly telepathy, because I think I'm going to say telepathy to clarify it. I think we're going to separate it out. Telepathy will be mostly words. But this mind speak idea that has been brought up mostly with the Sasquatch community, I realize this is most of the time the way that we communicate with everything from the planet to the elementals to the angels to every other thing that dwells here with us, every other bit of consciousness. It's really more of a mind speak, because we really end up with pictures, feelings, smells, everything, right? Um, so, you know, there's some things that is nice to know. about this. And Paranormal Pixie says, I used to make it storm when I'd get mad. Some people, it rains when they're sad. Um, it's okay. I'm going to describe some ways that I've seen people that I've read or heard of people making it rain, getting it to rain. And we're going to go over that. And we're going to go over elementals and what they're like, the nature spirits. I kind of feel like an emissary for Mother Earth because she started speaking to me a long time ago and I didn't know who it was. Once again, when you're a kid, you don't know. You don't know that everybody isn't doing this. You don't know that that there's anything not normal about this. But apparently I've been mind speaking her since I was a kid too. So I really at my lowest point, I had a dream about her, and she let me know that I wasn't going to go any lower. Things were going to clear up from here on out. And I was so thankful for that dream. She looked beautiful, very motherly, in a beautiful dress with flowers all over it, you know. Her dress kind of looked like a flower garden. Dark hair, big dark eyes. Um, Everything about her was round. Her hair was curly. Her body was round. Her everything, breasts, hips, everything, very curvy, very round. Um, she's she looks like Earth. Her skin was not white, and it wasn't really. She wasn't really black skinned either. She was kind of a tan color, and maybe a little olive. Um, but she was beautiful and very sweet looking. And that's my version of Mother Earth. Maybe you have a different one. But I realized, and things did improve after that, I realized I really did have a dialogue going with Mother Earth. And we've been talking ever since. And one of the things she told me is if people would learn how to correctly and effectively use her systems that were already installed here. There are systems for doing everything. This goes back to our idea that probably we're supposed to be stewards here. That if we would learn her systems, that we would have no problems. We would never have any kind of problem living. Everything would be given to us. She wants us and every other living thing to live very abundantly. She is a very giving planet. She's a very sweet mother. And yes, she can be protective too, but in everything that a mother needs to be. But she told me we need to learn to use her. She's got things in place that if we would only take up our power that we have, that we would not have any kind of situations. We would be able to live very comfortably here, plenty of food, clean air, everything would be beautiful. It can be a park-like, beautiful, beautiful place. But the corruption happened, and here we are, you know. But she can actually heal herself from most stuff. As long as The only thing is then there's us. If we screw things up bad enough, we will make life unlivable on the surface, and then we're out of luck, along with a lot of other animals. So that's the thing. There can be conditions here that cause it to be unlivable on the surface. But for the most part, she said she has supported 3 times as many people as we have now before, easily. I mean, she was doing a little flex there. I don't blame her. That's pretty interesting. Okay, but using her systems, that's the elementals, folks. That's part of the system. And if you look at it that way, if you look at our world as being a system, a holistic system, then you realize that there are, how can I say? Well, there are ways to address everything. Okay. Divine Mother and Father told me the same thing. There are ways to make everything that's gone wrong go right. And we have the power to do that. And we must be the instigators of that. And everybody is standing by, waiting for us to do that, waiting for us to make a start of it. And then they will come along and help us. And it's because we need to grow into our next stage. Okay? They can't do everything for us. We'll never learn. You can't do everything for your children. They'll never learn. They have to learn by doing. There are some things you've got to do them in order to learn them. And one of the things I will tell you, you have to be willing to make mistakes with everything. I mean, I play guitar. I was out on the street corner not knowing what I was doing. But I just played until I got better. And if you keep playing, you'll get better. Okay, it's the same with everything. You'll make some mistakes along the way. And that's expected because you'll learn from them if you're smart. So, and I'm really glad you're feeling better, Gemini. Gemini is feeling better now. We all probably deluged her with loving, healing vibes. And now, you see what's been happening for those of you who haven't been following along the show for very long. What's been happening is we're getting tired of these droughts, and and I'm getting tired of being the one. I mean, it's not really that I'm tired of. It's that I feel like everybody should be doing this. I feel like there should be at least one person in every area who can do this, so that maybe you hear something I don't. I feel like it's our responsibility as shamanic practitioners. I feel like it's our responsibility as magical types to take care of the areas we're living in and take care of the planet. I just feel like we need to be stewards, okay, to a certain extent. And I will give you examples. Like, for instance, the way I do it, okay, my own is, I realized at some point, my own style of doing these things is very naturey. I deal with elementals a lot. It's very, and angels. The angels are there to serve us. Seriously. That's the reason they are there. That's the reason we have them. And different people have said, well, I don't see, have had bad, experiences with angels. Some people don't see them. They work for me. My angels work for me. Okay, they work for me. When I tell them to go out and do something, they go out and do it. That's part of our system. So, hello, YJ Overlander. Um, so basically, I will tell you in my experience about dealing with nature, spirits, and elementals. But not everybody does it that way, quite the same way. Some shaman, they go out and they don't pray for rain, they pray rain, which means they go out in the atmosphere out there, you know, out in nature, and they, in their mind, imagine it raining. Feel it, taste it, smell rain, taste rain, feel rain, they pray rain. And so they're still, I think they're still contacting elementals, and I think they're still contacting the nature spirits to do this, of course. I mean, how else would you do it? But in a different way. That's not quite the way I do it. That's not the way I do it, though. But apparently, it's effective for some people. It wasn't very effective for me. Although I have a great imagination, doing it that way was just not effective for me. And there's, of course, another way is I talked about Grandmother Jane, who did the deer dance, who would do the deer dance around the full moon. And the only problem with that is then it would always rain. And then that was it for the full moon. You wouldn't be able to do anything outside because it would just rain for the next 3 days. So, yeah, and that's fine. I mean, any of these methods is fine if it works for you, you know? If this method works, then use that method. That's your style. And that's another thing about learning what we call magic, what people call magic, but it's really just a natural ability that we're all supposed to have, is you have to find your style that fits you. Then you'll be really good at it. If you try to do it some other way, it may not work as well, or it might. You might be able to master all of them. Who knows? Anything's possible. And Overlander says, I've never manipulated weather, but often use magic to help protect people. Participated in mass intention event to bring rain to wildfires. Well, thank you. Thank you, YJ Overlander. Me too. And unconditional love. There you go. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Oops. Trying to get it. Anyway, trying to get that statement up there so everybody can read it. It's a good statement. One of the things that I can tell you about my method is I think the reason this one works for me is because I have that rapport with Mother Earth, and I have a rapport with the nature spirits, with the elementals and the angels and the other beings that live here. Apparently, I mind speak Sasquatch all my life and didn't know. Hey, Pam, I am. So I think the best thing and biggest thing I can tell you is get in touch with nature. And if you love Mother Earth, she will love you back. She will send you love back. And if you love, like the little bees that we have, thank goodness, all kinds of little things pollinating our flowers out here. And there's this one bush that I passed by. It must be a really wonderful bush because we have like dozens of different kinds of bees. I mean, all different kinds of things pollinating, different kinds of bees, a few other kinds of things. Looks like we have a few, I'm not even sure what all we have, but we have a lot of things out there pollinized. And I always come out and I say, when I come out, I say, hello, ladies. How are you doing? I'm very friendly. I've always been friendly with the bees because we really need those. They're one of our best allies. But what we need to do is start to think of these things as our friends, our allies, and our neighbors who are living here, and maybe even our family. If you can see them that way and not in a negative way, like some of you people see your body's family, but a real family. Right. And Overlander, you're right. It's a frequency. It's a love frequency. And here comes James Ortiz. Hi there. Hi, James. That frequency of feeling familiar with them and loving them and feeling like they're family. That's what familiar means. Whoa, familiar spirits. Well, or familial. If they're very loving, I don't see any bad thing in that. Love the earth, love all the plants that grow around you, love the air. It's alive. All of it is alive. It all is. And if you realize that, you can start to talk. You can talk to it in English. It'll understand your intentions. You can talk to it in your mind. It'll understand that too. But it's nice to use words because that's a vibration. So if you use words or you sing, because I sing to them a lot, and they like it. You know what? Nature spirits just love when you sing to them. Or you make music. They love music. It's vibration. This, I can only tell you my experience, okay? This is my experience. Some people are very smug about it. I've seen people come into chat and go, I don't have to worry about making it rain or anything or the weather or anything because, that's my, it's my bitch. Okay. If you want to think of it that way, and that's working. But me, I want to feel happy when I talk to my friends, my family, and I feel like the elementals, the cloud elementals, they sound like children and they're so cute. And I kind of almost feel like they are my children. I kind of love them like I would love my children. They're so adorable. And I love bees. Yeah, I love bees too, YJ. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yes, when you speak, you transmit your intentions and it's a vibration. Same when you sing. Oh, James Ortiz, they just had a nice rain there too. Well, we've been working on rain. And I've been saying for a while, I'm going to teach people how to do that, how to send rain, because I've been doing this for years. But you need to be conscious of a few things. And one of them is just exactly what Denali's experiencing now, that you can't overdo it. You can make some, not exactly mistakes, and I don't know if I would call it exactly a mistake. I would say maybe we just overdid it a little. It's not necessarily a mistake. If you learn from it, it's okay. Nobody's getting killed, But you might be, because you were dry for so long, it might be that the ground's not absorbing it as well as it could. And it's going to take a while for the ground to absorb it because things have been dry for so long. But you certainly are going to have a nice lawn after this. It's not going to look anything like the lawn you showed me in that picture, Denali. After this is over. Yes. Oh gosh, yes, a YJ Overlander. Yes, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. We haven't heard much from you. You haven't been here. Have you been here before? But yeah, um, trying to get your comment to come up. Absolutely. They're abundant. They're in everything. They're everywhere in nature, everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere, everything. And they're in the trees. They're in the air. They're in all of the elements. The five major elements. The five elements. The air, the fire, the water, the earth, and the ether all have boatloads of different kinds of elementals. And they all have the nature of their element. And there's many different kinds. Like, for instance, there's two kinds. Okay, one of the reasons that we're having so much rain, I think, from experience, is the little cute, sweet nature beings that make it rain nice and pretty and evenly and gentle. They're cloud beings, okay? They're very kind of fluffy, they're playful, they're very yin, they're like little kids, they're so sweet, I just love them. I feel such love coming from them. They're just like loving, non-judgmental little kids is what they remind me of. And they look like cartoon characters, fluffy, puffy cartoon characters, okay? And the thunder beings, though, we had to call them out because we were having some problems. They're different. As you might have noticed, Denali, they're a lot more yang. And oh yeah, and that's true, YJ, is there are other people doing this too. So yeah, sometimes we are all trying to do something and we don't know it, and we're kind of, or sometimes we're trying to do more than one thing and it's just not working. So it's kind of contradicting each other. So there is that too. That's part of the learning experience. Oh, there is a guy who gets him on camera. I'm going to try to get him on camera. I've got him on camera a few times. I used to have some lovely cloud pictures of the cloud elements. But the main thing I wanted to say is you've got to be careful with any kind of elemental. And particularly, well, yeah, any kind of elemental, actually. But there are different characters of elementals. I mean, like I said, the little cloud beings are sweet. The thunder beings are different. Oh, yes, you can also send rain with them. And as you noticed, they're a lot more yang, and you will get buckets and boatloads, right? And they're very powerful. And yeah, you will get a lot of rain. But sometimes you need them if there is something else going on there that has been preventing a normal rain pattern from happening. Like we suspect that there has been interference in our natural weather programs. You know what? I am going to try seeing if I can take a picture of some of these elementals. It would be wonderful if we could see them. It'd be help me explain. Oh, well, thank you, YJ. Well, thank you. I do want to promote that people do this in their home regions, and that maybe if you're having any trouble or you're trying to learn to do this, that we can all help each other with this. That now we're going to have to help Denali shut it down a little, tamp it down a little bit, because it's getting a little overdone over there, she's saying. And I do understand that, because doggone, we can get into that territory, unfortunately, um, when we get into magic, we are stepping into a whole world. A world of possibilities, a world of beings that most people cannot see or feel or don't even know about. Oh, you love this info. Well, I hope I can continue to share, because I couldn't get my phone charged up. My phone has been giving me all kinds of trouble since the update. And I couldn't get things to charge today. It was very weird. It's been a weird, but we have weird wiring in this place, so I'm kind of blaming it on the wiring. But yes, we probably will be having things like that, YJ. And I'm just going to, the reason I feel like it's really important is because, once again, we kind of overdid it over at Denali's, because we had to push against something. We had to bust through, and I wish I could get Denali on here to tell us. Denali, you feel like coming in and telling us anything, or do you want me to tell the whole thing? I'd really love to hear it from you, if you can. But because you have part of that story. Right. So, well, that's another thing, YJ. You're saying return to sender. This is one thing that I noticed, and I don't know if everybody experiences this, but when I send rain, and what I do is I just talk to them. I just talk to them and feel love for them, and imagine them up there, the little cloud beings, and I talk to them just like they're people or something, and send the love out. And I say, you know what? You look like you're having a wonderful time. However, there are some people that are suffering and they need some rain. There's some land that really needs rain. The plants are suffering and the animals are suffering and the people are suffering, and they can't stand that. They hate that. They don't want anybody to suffer. They're so sweet. And and well, what do you want us to, where do you want us to go? Well, and then I think of where, and it really helps to have a receiver, I find. If there is a particular person, particularly another magical person, psychic person, shamanic person, whatever, to send it to that can receive it, it seems like it's simpler that way. Okay, just easier, faster. It does sometimes take a day or two, or up to 3 days, to send it a long distance, like way across the country sometimes. I suppose that has something to do with the air, with the system. I don't know what it has to do with. I'm still not 100% sure what that has to do with. It can sometimes take some time for it to actually happen. The Native Americans would go by a 4-day rule. If something didn't happen in 4 days, it isn't going to work. It didn't work. But that's all I know about that. I didn't have an actual Indian elder teaching me any of this, except in spirit. I did not have a physical one. And my grandmother, I didn't see enough of her to learn too much from her. And she wasn't that much into that anyway. It was really my great grandmother and my great grandmother's spirit, and other ancestral spirits, and other and the nature spirits themselves, and Mother Earth herself, that taught me. A lot of it I did learn from other people, from being around other people that did this kind of thing. Yes, I absolutely did learn from that. But I didn't have like a native teacher or something. I had many, actually. I had many different people that I met. One was Mayan, one was Sioux, one was, well, God, I've had some were Wiccan, some were, there is just a mixed bag there. So some were straight up, very Christian and, but they have their beliefs. They're very magical sounding beliefs, some of these Christians. So I just took it all in. Okay, so here's the question. Oh, your phone's not playing. Mine isn't either working that great today. Reason we can mod the weather is because the elements and the clouds will work with us and become the neural network of the rain cells. Yes, yes. And that is a good way to think of it. And if you think of the trees are part of the lungs of the planet, all these systems, just like we have systems in our body, Mother Earth has systems in her body. Yeah. And we're part of it. We are literally, because we live here, we're part of her systems that run the planet. What are we? I'm not sure. I think we might be, well, I think some of us might be in the brain and some of us might be in some other regions. I don't know. Not sure. But this is something that you have to observe as if it were a machine or as if it were a body system. She's a living being. Earth is a living being. Planets are alive, living beings. They're ensouled. They have souls like we do. They have intelligence. They have systems, immune systems, even digestive systems, recycling systems. I would say, in fact, the part of the digestive system, the recycling, is her recycling system. I mean, Earth has a great recycling system. All kinds of microorganisms break down plants and animals, the bodies of plants and animals, and prepare them to nourish more plants and animals. Everything we excrete, the plants love. We're like little busy bees to the plants. We're just like everything we excrete, whether it be what we breathe or what we poop or whatever, they can use, okay, even our bodies. So, and it's part of the system of the planet. When you realize your place in the system, it really helps. Oh my gosh! Really? Really, YJ? This is something that everybody who ever teaches anything in their lives wants to hear. That I have learned something today. It's an epiphany moment. Gratitude. Glad you made this. Me too. That is the most wonderful thing that I can hear, because this is part of the reason I made this stream, okay? And it hasn't been easy a lot of the time. Sometimes, and I've had to just get over my ego and let the chips fall where they may. And sometimes they're cow chips. But yeah, some water can be dead. That's true. Yes, the yin and the yang, everything works together. We work together. Everything, all of the phenomena. This is why we are deep woo. Okay? I can tell you, it's all related. This is why we don't hassle experiencers. Everything is related. Your cryptids are related. Your UFOs, your spiritual phenomena, everything. your magic, everything. Everything, it has a relationship to the whole. It's a very holistic system. We keep separating everything. We keep trying to separate everything and subdivide everything. I used to call it the forces of division, which are not, I mean, you need to be able to classify things in some regards. Sometimes that helps, but sometimes we just think of everything as being separate, and it's not. It's not. Well, thank you. Oh, not implying that it was what? Oh, that's something you guys were talking about. Okay. Yeah, every single thing is connected. And everything, it's like our bodies are, everything's connected. If you're having trouble with one part of your body, it's because something else is going wrong with another. I mean, and usually it's your gut. If you're having trouble with anything else, a lot of times your gut's gotten problems because it's all connected. I mean, or your thyroid has problems, so other parts have problems, or whatever it is. You are a whole individual, and then we are parts of other whole individual systems. So this is why we can do this. And because we have thinking brains, that must be part of our function, because everything also has a function here. So, because we have these thinking brains and we can think into the future and think into the past and design things and build things and make things and imagine things, this is part of our function. And trying to stop us from using it is throttling the function of the whole planet. But I do understand why some things were, occult just means hidden. It just means we had to hide it. Why did they have to hide it? Because what if some idiot gets a hold of it and does all kinds of damage? And that could happen. Oh, yeah, the elementals are all connected. Oh, yeah, they all know each other. You don't know any books offhand? I don't know any books offhand about elementals, but you know what? There's a great book outside, you know, sit under the sun and sometimes let yourself get rained on a little bit and talk to the very planet herself and the very elementals themselves and, all of the beings that are around us that know the older ones, the ones who are still retain their knowledge of how things work. And if you are nice to them, they'll help you. They'll help you understand. Always feel your feelings because you want to be able to feel the energy signature to make sure that you're dealing with something good. You don't want to be listening to things that are not good. There are some things that are kind of psychotic. There are some elementals that have been corrupted, I hear. Fortunately, I haven't met very many. But as a matter of fact, I'm not sure about some of them. But elementals mostly are neutral, and they get their character mostly from us. Yes, it represents all the elements. What are the 3 and the 5? Okay, wait a minute. What are the 3 and the 5? 5, no 3, sire. No. That's another Monty Python thing, 3 and 5. I used to mix up 3 and 5 all the time. I don't know why. Yeah, you know what? I'm a fire sign too, and I need water. And it turns out that you can have your personality is an element, is linked to an element. Our very personalities are linked to elements. I'm a fire sign, but I'm a water personality, more of a water ocean. That's why I guess the name ocean came to me. I'm really more watery. I'm really more water and wood. And the Chinese have more. They have 8. 8 elements they believe in. So it depends on whose system you're using. And I like to think of it as just an expanded system. Like maybe the Chinese have just an expanded system. The Native Americans have more of an abbreviated system, more of a broader definition of the elements. So, you know, but like for instance, the Chinese, I can't remember all 8 of them. Okay, I used to, but any book on feng shui will tell you about that. Okay, that is all about the elements. And in fact, I could even show you that the 5 points of a pentagram are in feng shui when you show the elements, to show the elements acting against each other, not in harmony. That's the star part, the 5-pointed star. And to show the elements acting together harmoniously, they have a circle. They show a circle. And I've explained this before. So a pentagram would be a bind rune. It has runes in it, even. You could look at the angles and see runes in it. But a bind rune is when you combine more than one, and you bind them together to make a sigil. Now, so I was looking at a book on feng shui, and then when I realized that this makes a star and this makes a circle, and if you lay them on top of each other, you get a pentagram. And I was always told that a pentagram, what it really means is mastery of the elements. That was the first thing I ever heard it meant, outside of, religious people who don't really know, that's not their thing. That they don't really know. They only know what they've heard. But something keeps coming up and I don't know what it means yet. Oh, you watched the Holy Grail this weekend, Gemini Moon. 3 and the 5. You know what? There may be something to that. And it must mean something because I used to get those two screwed up. Denali, is a yang fire. That means you're outward. Well, yeah. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. Abagua. It's called Abagua. Barry is right. It's called Abagua. An 8-sided. And now, where have we seen this 8-sided before? The Great Pyramid of Giza has 8 sides. Yeah. And in a very Tartarian-like city, and I'm trying to think of the name of it, they have they have this big thing that's a wheel with an 8-sided structure in it, and they call it the Gate of Heaven or something. It's 8 sides, so 8 has to be very powerful. Well, for one thing, it means infinity. It is the symbol for infinity. It is also the symbol for as above, so below. So that's got to be part of it, right? And so all of these things work together. Numerology is in there. Astrology is in there. Everything's in there. Yes, in religious terms, the 5 wounds of Christ. Yes, I hear the early Christians did use the pentacle themselves. And they likened it to the 5 wounds of Christ. But like all good symbols, you can use it for all kinds of things. Yeah, most just think it's some kind of devil sign, and it can be used that way. It can be used that way. You can use this, you know what? You can use any symbol. You can use a cross wrong. You can use, you can use the pinnacle a different way, for bad purposes. You can use anything like that. We have free will choice here, although there are beings that try to interfere with that. You have free will choice. You can choose how you're going to use it. These things are neutral. It's like the elementals. They're neutral, really. What are you going to tell them to do? Okay, so I had to tell the thunder being that the little rain spirits, we were trying to send rain to Denali's area, and they were having problems getting there. They came back and said they don't want us there. I'm like, what do you mean they don't want you there? Denali wants you there, and they're having a drought. Turns out when we remote viewed the area, there was like a cap over the airport. And I wonder how many times this sort of thing happens, and nobody tells anybody about it. You're not going to hear that on the news. You're not going to hear on the news, yes, so-and-so airport decides they're going to put a magical cap over their airport to prevent rain because it interferes with flights. Because that's why they did it. Somebody did it, and I got that the reason they did it, it wasn't evil, but it was causing trouble to their neighbor. Here, once again, be mindful of your actions. It was causing trouble to their neighbors because it was actually big enough to block rain from getting to Denali's area. So it was overlapping her area, and then the rain was going around and missing them. And then we had to call it back. But see, in order to bust through that, I felt that we needed a little bit more yang energy, which was the thunder beings, which is probably why we're having a deluge right now over there. And we're having a deluge here too, but we're used to deluges here. Right, if they call it evil or bad, you might want to look at it. Anything that they're trying to get you to look away from, everything, you need to look into it because it's probably important because people don't want you taking up the power. That's just, if you're running an organization to manipulate people, they certainly don't want you picking up your own power and using it, right? No, they want you to have to go through them. And in that regard, some religions are just like a freaking corporation. Matter of fact, a lot of them have fallen into that corporate thing. And that is what is the problem with I feel that all of our religions on this planet have been interfered with and have been hijacked to a certain extent. Now, the people's intention, okay, wait a minute, cannabis resolution just showed up. Okay, it's about to get real weird. Hey, Naysay, what's up? What's up, brother? What in the fornication under consensual knowledge is going? Okay. Wee. Self-eating autophagy. Autophagy. It means self-eating. I don't know how that came up. Yes, autophagy. Yes. Yes. I'm not sure what you're putting in. Process in our body when our body cleans out damaged cells and recycles proteins and other. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Hi. I bet you are. I bet you are. Naysay. Anyway, yes, fasting can trigger autophagy. Yes. Yes. Okay. Oh, it was your argument in grade 9 and refused to adopt the concept of a singularity in an infinite universe. Okay. Good for you. looks YJ like we have a heck of a lot to talk about because I was always an iconoclast and getting myself in trouble in Sunday school and school. I really challenged everything. I really did until I got to the point where I just got tired after a while. It's like, we're not going to get anywhere. I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm going to have to look in other ways. I'm going to have to look outside the church. I'm going to have to look outside school. I'm going to have to look outside a lot of so-called common knowledge. And that is part of how I ended up on this journey. Is I realized early on, everything we know is wrong. We've been taught the wrong thing. We've been taught wrong our whole lives. We've been gaslighted. I say that all the time. We've been gaslighted our whole lives. We've been told we are wrong when we see things, experience things, hear things, know things. We've been gaslighted all our lives. And unfortunately, our government is very narcissistic right now, especially right now. And it seems like the powers that were mostly psychotic. Psychopathy is a real thing. And usually people with psychopathy rise to the top of whatever they do because they really don't care who they step on and how they get there. And we discuss this. So a lot of times they end up in a high position. And that's a whole nother discussion for another time because we're talking about working with the elements now. Now, our rain finally stopped. Whew. And Denali Princess says, the first day in Catholic school, I looked at the huge Jesus hanging on the cross and asked, who's that guy? It's Jesus. He died for our sins. Me, that's not Jesus. Well, you know what? I have been in people's homes that thought they had Jesus on the wall when actually they had Getty, a voodoo god of death, and they didn't know it. But because I know something about voodoo, hey, I lived in New Orleans for a while. I picked up some info. I knew that that was really Getty. But if I had told the person that, they would have just crapped themselves, really. But I didn't want to sit under that thing. Let me just say, I didn't want to sit on it. It was over one of the couches, and I didn't like sitting in that couch. It just made me feel like, no. Why? Why? Yes. And if your name has a Y in it, you're always asking why. Why? They're going to be a little bit weird. Yeah. Oh, that's how your religious education started. Right. Right, Dolly. Yeah. Yeah, let's face it. That's probably something we all have in common. We are not complacent. We are not, um, we're iconoclastic. We would have been branded heretics and burned at the stake at some eras, in some eras, right? We would have, in other eras, we would have been maybe honored as mages that we are, shaman, whatever. But in other eras, we would be burned, tortured, and killed. And so, as one of the things I want to accomplish on this show is the taking back of our natural abilities, which are innate. We have a right to them. They're ours. They're innate. And if they're innate, that means that whatever you think of as God must have wanted us to have these. Otherwise, we wouldn't have them. Right? If we weren't supposed to. But then because we are thinking beings, and feeling beings. We also have a duty to be responsible about what we do. And from the very beginning, I have been told by everybody who wants to help us, from the star people to the elementals to the everybody, that we must initiate the action. It's up to us to initiate any action that happens. They are ready to help us, but we must initiate. And the angels, your angels, they wait for you to tell them what to do. And I'll tell you, the nature spirits, a lot of times, they're too busy playing. Sometimes they forget they're supposed to do something, and you need to remind them, hey, it needs rain over here. It's dry. People are suffering. The crops need to grow. And they'll, oh, okay. They're very nice about it. The earth elemental out here, very big, powerful, strong. You'll know which element they represent by their character, by the way they talk, by the way they sound. Oh, and the thunder beings, of course, sound more like thunder. The cloud beings sound very light and airy. The some of the earth elementals are very musical. Some of them are more gravelly. I mean, some of like the trees and the flowers are very kind of musical. The minerals are more gravelly or minerally sounding. They just sound different. They feel different. The vibration is different. Yeah. Oh, that sounds really good. Sounds good. They say it's having a good salad. Yeah, it's a good salad. Um, yeah. So we deserve to be able to do these things. We deserve, and it is our right and it is our duty. Landlord out in Maui. Okay, the source. Landlord out here in Maui just said the grass is brown, need rain. There you go. Are you saying, is that how they make rain? Or are you saying you need rain? Because if you need rain, we got some we can send you. Okay. Oh, Doran. Hi there. Oh my gosh. That's right. How you doing, Doran? Your earrings are musical when the wind catches them. Just try it. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so this is really part of it. When I go out and I talk to nature and it listens, it's because I have a relationship with it. Just like I have a relationship with everything. I mean, just like you have a relationship with your mom and dad or your friends or your whatever. So if you want to do this kind of thing, aloha, if you want to do this kind of thing, one of the best things you can do is start a relationship with nature. Have a relationship with nature. And then you can just say, hey, little cloud beings, it needs to rain. And they'll say, sure. But occasionally you'll come up with some kind of roadblock like Denali had, and you'll have to figure out how to get around that. So what you need to do now, Denali, is just say, okay, that's enough now, and see how that works, and then we're here to help if it doesn't work. But Doran and I worked together. By the way, the source, that's Doran. We knew each other a while back. So, been a while since I've seen you, Doran. How have you been? You need to get in touch with me sometime. Well, actually, yeah, we need to get back in touch because there's all kinds of things going on, and we probably should be talking to each other about it all. Because I think this channel is getting ready to take off because we're getting guests and stuff on it. Doran, you're the one. Yeah, yes. I need I need somebody to help me book people to be on the show. Now, if you can't do it, maybe you know somebody who can. But yes, I am looking for guests for the show. And Deb, who's Deb? I don't know about Deb. You're gonna have to tell me about Deb. Are you in MeWe? Are you in our MeWe group, Doran? Because if you are, I can send you my phone number, but I'm not gonna put it here. But I can private message you. Or once again, my here, I'll do it this way. Okay. That there is my PayPal, but this name, Ocean Diana, is my Gmail. No numbers or anything, just that. Okay? So you can get in touch with me there, along with other things, and I'll send you my phone number. Or we can talk on WhatsApp. If you have a plan that doesn't allow for too much talking, we can, I have WhatsApp. So we can do it that way. And YJ Overlander, I would be comfortable with you having my email and phone number too. I would be comfortable talking to you. Yes. Well, yeah, it sounds like we need to talk, Overlander. Or that it would be nice to talk. Let's put it that way. You don't have to do anything. Deb is your spiritual partner. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay. Yeah, because I am lost as far as what's been going on in your life recently. And I don't know if you've been listening here or not. We've had some really damn great shows lately. So, and we're going to have a bunch more. I believe I am sufficiently adjusted now to be able to take this, to be able to go on in my head, that is, and in I still need I still need the equipment. I need the money to get the equipment to do this properly. Right now I'm doing this on my phone. And I'm getting told that I'm running out of battery, so this is going to be cutting off after only an hour and 19 minutes. And the only way I could change that, and I think I will, is let me see if I can get into. Gonna have to go to my room. Well, wait a minute. No, I don't. Wait. We did install that. Okay. I totally forgot that we had this. We had put this in. Yes, I don't know why I didn't think of that. Because I'm used to taking this outside. Okay, we'll be fine. I'm going to be charging while we're doing this. We're fine. Back in it. Now, only thing is if we eat more power than, if we eat power faster than we take it in, I don't know. But we'll see. Okay, so now we'll see. If I go out, if I kind of blink out, you know what happened? We ran out of battery. But and before that, I want to say, remember you're divine. It's always been my message. Doran can tell you that. It's been the message I've always given people, is you are divine. And the truth is where you find it. and it could be anywhere, and especially within. And I just want to say that before anything else happens. So I'm not sure how long this is going to last or if it's going to charge up fast enough. But, right, obstacles and setbacks are only lessons. That's right. And we can, okay, I really do want to catch up with you. And, okay, and the MeWe group, there's the MeWe group that we're in. We use that to put in, we put all kinds of, we can use that to communicate because it's not Facebook. It's not like Facebook. So please come visit us there. You're going to bow out, Barry? Well, thanks for coming. And if I bow out, you know why. This is a wonderful discussion, and I want to continue it. I really want to continue it. If we don't get to finish this discussion, I'm going to have it come back around again because it's been such a good discussion. Yeah, see, the equipment is expensive, and then you got to learn to use it all. Yeah, well, like I said, Facebook is catch as catch can. But yeah, I still have a presence on Facebook that I don't go there. Hope to see you soon, Doran, or hear from you soon. Okay, and you guys, I just want to tell you, we have the best discussions. I'm so happy with the way the channel is turning out. I am so happy having you as a crew. I think of you as my crew. This is a crew of the Woo ship. You are the crew of the Woo. Okay? And really love our Keith. Our Keith Andrews. Oh, our Keith. We'll talk about that. Oh my God. Our Keith is such a loon. He really is. And I don't agree with him on everything, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't have him on the show. But, um, you know, I need somebody to help me find the right guests for the show, guests that would be a good fit. Uh, Cannabis is supposed to be on it sometime. Yeah. Naysay's supposed to be on sometime, and Naysay, you know how to get a hold of me, right? And you know what my timing is like. So if you really want to do that, and YJ, if you want to come in here and talk, you're invited too. You're invited. I'm even, yeah, ketchup, not ketchup. Cat soup. Okay. I want to hear from you guys. And some of you are going to get my phone number and we're going to talk. We got stuff to talk about. I want to see some of you on the show. I love actual experiencers. Part of what this show is about. You too are important. Your thoughts are important. YJ, I can tell you right now, you'd be a great guest. Come on the show. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. You can even change your name. All up to you. Guys, I love you. I'll be back on. I will be back on, let's see, Wednesday. We will continue. So it's not very far away. We will continue our discussions. Yes. And like I said, I love you guys. You really make my day every time I come in here. Wish I wasn't about to blink out here because I'd love to continue this discussion, and we shall. Okay. So yeah, Freedom Grower is in too, just as I'm losing all the battery, just as the battery's fixing to go out. I got 1% left, so might as well say see you now. Sayonara. See you next time. Thank you.